guys? Uncle Pip here, and welcome to day one for the spring trip. We're in Bad Tölz. That's in Bavaria, and we're about to give you a history lesson. Please, dive in with me. This is the first part of a big series. Hope you're watching all of them. Now, the first stop in Bad Tölz is this here. It is the SS Junkerschulen. It was originally built and designed in 1934 and was later named the Junkerschulen in 1937. It's basically West Point for the SS. Now, there's a lot of differences with the ideological studies and the classes and stuff like that, but the bottom line is this building and this courtyard that we're in was a school for SS officer candidates. Once they graduated, they would become officers in the SS. A couple of different studies that you could take. A lot of people were in the security police and the security service, and later in the actual Waffen SS, or the fighting arm of the SS. 1937, 40% of the graduates actually became police. And by 1945, more than 15,000 people graduated and were commissioned in the Waffen SS. Interesting fact I heard, you did not need a secondary diploma to qualify to go to this school, meaning you didn't have to go to college beforehand. This was your college. And they were even real big on trying to recruit young people too, of course. But that was interesting. It was a neat little stop to see that. And now we're actually leaving the Junkerschulen to go to the actual town of Bad Tölz. And of course, you're seeing the Bavarian Alps there in the distance. And this is the actual town of Bad Tölz. Bad Tölz, on the west side of the Isar River, has a monument dedicated to the 97th Division. Of course, that's a German division. And the east side of the river is where the main town actually is. And that's where this footage is taking place. When I landed in Munich, we immediately went here to the Junkerschulen, and then we went to Bad Tölz. And while here in Bad Tölz is where I actually got my first beer of the whole trip, and it was at a small brew house. It was pretty incredible. It was amazing. And one of my big takeaways about Bad Tölz that I want to address is it is a giant hill. The river Isar, the Isar River, is at the bottom of the hill, and the town basically just goes up a hill. And you might be able to see some of that. And here's the Isar River. I'm looking south, and now I'm panning over to the east, and that is the main city center. That is the majority of the town. Now we're going to the north, a big church up on the hill. And now we're going to pan over to the west, and that memorial is further to the left. But we didn't go based on weather. And now we're driving to a small town. And I want to talk about that here in just a moment. We're currently in Mund, which is spelled with a G for no reason. And we are looking for the post office that was built in 1939. The last building I showed you had a random 1914 dated iron cross on it. Again, for no reason. Now we have left Mund and we're heading south, and this is the lake called Lake Tegernsee. And Mund is behind us. We're heading south. We're actually going to go to the town called Tegernsee. So that's kind of a tongue twister if you're not thinking about it.
Another real quick fact that I actually wanted to throw out at you that I forgot earlier. The Junkerschule in Bad Tölz, after World War II, the United States Army's 1st Battalion, 10th Special Forces, uh, was there until 1991. So that's kind of neat. Now, right here, you're seeing the Abbey. Now I'm going to pan around the lake, and it goes back over to the Abbey. This little building right here is actually a memorial that the town had built to honor the people that were killed in war that were from this town. Now we're in the town of Tegernsee. We come up these steps, and you'll see all these plaques going across. The first one that we're coming to is dated 1939 to 1945. And these are the names of the men from this town that died in World War II. This plaque here is 1914 to 1918. Of course, that was World War I. And here is 1870 through 1871. And now another plaque for World War I, 1914 to 1918. At the bottom is more World War II, 1939 to 1945, and those were the ones that were missing in action and were never found. And now we're going back to World War II that were killed in action. This is 39 through 45. I just found that little thing fascinating. A lot of towns have that in Germany, which kind of surprises me. Now let's look at this.
So all of the rocks that have little placards on them are apparently like 15,000 years old, and they're not native to here. During the last ice age, they came off of the mountains behind me and pushed up to here. And they've been here ever since.
Now we're looking south over to the Lake Tegernsee, and I just think it's the most beautiful view you will ever see in your life. The camera doesn't do it justice. You just have to go see it.
Alright, we're at the Tegernsee Lake in the town of Tegernsee. I'm about to drink a Tegernsee beer.
Okay, so now I have to be honest with you. This was the best beer I've ever had in my life. This abbey, of course, is where the brewery is. It's also home to a Christian church, and there is a restaurant in the abbey as well. And that's gonna wrap up this video. We have a lot to cover, and this was just day one of many. So stay tuned. Hope you're enjoying watching the videos. I'm enjoying making them.